Now, sports from the First National Bank Sports Desk. First National Bank of North Platte, the bank to think of first.
The high school football season hits week 2 for area Nebraska teams this week. We'll narrow our focus for today's update on the big game tomorrow night on the road for Scottsbluff at Hastings. It was a tale of two halves last week in the Cats opener, tied with North Platte 21-21 at halftime, but near vintage Scottsbluff in half number 2. They win going away 42-21. In the win, the coach's defensive player of the game, that was Jack Darnell. He really filled up the stat sheet defensively, and he's one of the coach's selections to be a captain tomorrow night in Hastings.
I think I prepared well for practice, and the whole team. I think defensively we did really good preparing for that game. We had to make some adjustments at halftime, and that allowed me to make some more tackles, and McLean just put us in the right places to make the plays.
Last week it was a run-heavy attack from North Platte. This week for the Scottsbluff defense, it's a Hastings team that threw it all over the place. In fact, they threw it over 30 times in a stunning 30-7 road win at McCook last week.
I think we have to get to the quarterback, really put pressure on him. McCook didn't really put enough pressure on the quarterback, and if our line is giant, and I think they'll have a really big part in this game if they put some pressure on the QB, and we'll get some picks on them.
Jarrett Sinek, that's the quarterback for Hastings, and that win over McCook, it snapped a 17-game losing streak for Hastings to the Bison. Another coach's appointed captain this week will be senior running back and outside linebacker Jasiya DeOllos. The coaches tabbed him this week after his performance in the kick return game last weekend, where he was really running with a purpose.
They said we were down already, so I know we needed a big momentum boost. So, I had to go get the job done and get us some yards.
For DeOllos personally, well, he's in the best shape he's been in for quite some time, and he credits that to just doing the right things over the spring and summer months, playing about 20 pounds lighter than he did a year ago. Lighter on his feet. Hey, that's going to come in handy this week against Hastings offense that showed a lot of promise last Friday.
They get rid of the ball really quick, so it's just making sure we contain their wide receivers, making sure they can't get out past us and get yards, so just containing the short passes.
The season-long captains for the Cats are Sebastian Harsh and Terrence Mokiak, and we'll catch up with those two throughout the year as well. Harsh and fellow senior Jacob Cruel put up some monster rushing numbers last week in the win behind that big veteran O-line. They combined for over 300 yards rushing and 6 rushing touchdowns. We'll have radio only for the Scottsbluff at Hastings game tomorrow, and radio only for Gehring at Seward as the Bulldogs have another tough out after a week 1 home loss. Our TV game tomorrow night, well, that'll come from Alliance, where the Bulldogs entertain Shadron. Alliance hung with York for a half last week, tied 9-9 at the break. They end up losing 30-9 Shadron. They ripped Gordon Rushville. And we're going to have some TV coverage for you tonight also. Scottsbluff volleyball home to take on Alliance. Chuck's got that one starting up at around 6:45 or 6:50 or so. First serve expected right around 7 o'clock. That's the latest today from right here at the First National Bank desk. I'm Chris Cottrell.